Coming up on News Live at 6, the 20th floor of this hotel caught fire. We're first to see inside.
We're at the Sheraton Hotel right now for the Men of Color Initiative induction ceremony. They're taking their photos right now. Plus,
and we have new details tonight as to what is going on with those 3 Syracuse University fraternity members. News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is CitrusTV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
We continue our coverage tonight of the 3 Lambda Chi Alpha fraternity brothers arrested. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Benjamin Schiller.
And I'm Katie Fongvongsa. The 3 brothers were in court today for the first time. We broke this news to you earlier in the month. Now we are learning how their case is being played out. Our Max Williams is live from the Syracuse City Courthouse where the trial took place. Max, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Katie. It was early this morning that all 3 of those fraternity members came to this Syracuse City Courthouse right behind me for their first arraignment. And they're all, and just to remind you of who those members are, they're all seniors. Tyler Burns, Garrett Wood, and Ben Landauer. Now they're all being charged with criminal trespassing and have all pled not guilty. Now the judge said today that those charges will be dropped if they complete 10 hours of community service within 2 months, and the judge is requiring them to do it somewhere within the city. Now it's important to note that the charges are a Class A misdemeanor, which is a serious charge. So if they are arrested before the case is dismissed, they could spend some time in jail, guys.
Max, from what you could see, what were the emotions of the members?
Yeah, Katie, from what I could see, the fraternity members actually seemed pretty relaxed, and they didn't seem too stressed or overwhelmed, and the actual trial hearing wasn't too long, only 15 to 20 minutes, but the members were polite to the judge and to their attorney as well. Ben and Katie, I'll send it back over to you in studio.
Max Williams, great reporting. Got a great idea for a business startup? Upstate Capital is inviting all Central New York undergrad and graduate students to apply for the annual New York Business Plan competition. Applications are open now until March 1st. This year's competition will be held at the SUNY Oswego campus on March 22nd. The 2 top teams will be sent to the state capitol for the finals in April.
And Syracuse University Men of Color Initiative is hosting their induction ceremony tonight for this year's new members.
CitrusTV reporter Leah Cohn is at the Sheraton Hotel right now. Leah, how is the MCI and SU continuing to develop the next generation of leaders on campus? And well, it looks like we'll get to Katie,
yes. Or Leah.
Leah. I'm with you now,
yeah,
Katie.
Yes.
We'll get to Leah in a moment, but you know, there's been a lot of stuff going on campus this week. A lot of events for Black History Month, and we've been kind of covering a lot on Live at 6 on Fridays.
Yeah, I mean, everything is kind of getting packed in before spring break, so I guess like this is the best chance for groups to get all their events, and then new groups coming out to show up too.
And it looks like we'll get to Leah Cohn in a bit, but new details tonight on the fire at Syracuse's Crown Plaza Hotel. Our Luke Radel spoke to management there and was the first reporter to explore the damaged floors. Take a listen.
Ben and Katie, the Crown Plaza Hotel is likely familiar to anyone who's ever driven into Syracuse. But the 20th floor of this building caught fire on Wednesday night. We have an exclusive look inside.
The only guests at Syracuse's Crown Plaza today are the team from Property Restoration Incorporated, which is working to help the building recover from extensive fire and water damage on their top floors. These industrial-sized fans are being used to dry out the banquet spaces on the hotel's 20th floor with pristine views of the Syracuse skyline. The hotel's general manager confirming to CitrusTV News that a small fire broke out up here on the 20th floor and that the entire hotel was evacuated Wednesday night. Syracuse firefighters walked up 20 flights of these stairs in order to put out the fire, and I'll tell you, walking up these stairs myself was not easy, and I wasn't carrying 75 to 100 pounds of firefighting equipment. Recovery workers who declined to speak to Citrus TV News on camera told us that the main issue that the hotel faces now as it seeks to reopen is actually restoring the building from the water damage done by the fire response sprinkler systems. One key area of damage being worked on today was the hotel's elevator system. Water from the sprinklers ran into the elevator shaft and corroded the circuitry needed for the elevators to safely operate. Hotel management says that they're working as quickly as they can to get these issues resolved and hope to welcome guests back into the hotel beginning tonight. Reporting from downtown Syracuse, Luke Radel, Citrus TV News.
Luke, thank you for your coverage. As the Crown Hotel recovers from the blaze, the Syracuse Fire Department is enduring workload stress after another major flame broke out exactly 24 hours later. The department responded to a house fire on the 1200 block of Park Street last night just before 9 p.m. Several rooms on both the first and second floor, along with a box truck in the driveway, were engulfed by the flames. One department member who was attending to the fire said, quote, "It's been a very busy start to the year for us. We've had a fire in high-rise last night that taxed our resources pretty well. This fire last night, we're at 2 to 3 engines at the scene because of the intensiveness of the effort to put this fire out," end quote. And in honor of National Engineers Week, the Advancing Women's Engineers Networking Group held an event for students. Our reporter Lizzie Gottlieb attended the event last night to tell us how this event is supporting women.
Only 29% of students majoring in engineering at Syracuse University identify as female. For National Engineers Week, the Advancing Women Engineers Networking Group is holding this event to promote the importance of women in this field. Alumni returned to campus to give advice to future women engineers in a panel discussion. Civil engineer Emily Mahana says she wants to help prepare students for a career in engineering, just like how Syracuse prepared her.
In our civil engineering class when I graduated, there were about 40 of us total, and about 5 of us were women. So now at my company, in my office, I'm the only female in my department for bridge engineering. So having to face those struggles and find my confidence as a student has helped me be confident as a practicing engineer now.
Students were able to network with engineering alumni over a dinner. Student Adia Parida says she feels support by faculty and loves the opportunities to network with engineers currently in the field.
It's really good to hear that sort of industry perspective and point of view, to see what sort of skills are in demand, to see what are some of the challenges they faced, and to see how they navigated through that, because they've already been in the shoes that I potentially could be in the future.
The night and event concluded with a vision board making activity. Reporting for Citrus TV News, I'm Lizzie Gottlieb.
Lizzie, thank you. Let's talk about some local news. A popular chicken sandwich restaurant is opening in Cicero. Dave's Hot Chicken specializes in Nashville hot chicken. They offer a wide variety of chicken sandwiches with different levels of spiciness. The restaurant will open March 1st. It will be located on Route 11 in Cicero, across the street from the KFC. You know, I'm not really a chicken fan, but I definitely will have to give that a taste.
Yeah, speaking of hot, some warm weather, our weather anchor, Moira Vaughan, is outside right now. Moira, what's it looking like out there?
Katie, I wish I could say that it is still super hot out right now, but it is actually really cold. Right now it's about 42 degrees out, but feeling like 37, and those cold temperatures are going to continue to drop later on tonight, where it's 38 degrees, but feeling like 32. I really thought that we would have that sun and that warm weather like we did earlier today, but it looks like we won't be having that. Looking across the region, we have those low 30s to high 40s, Ithaca, Penn Yan, and Syracuse, all at that 42-degree range, and that will continue to drop. I'll have more on your 5-day forecast later on the show. Guys.
And Syracuse University Men of Color Initiative is hosting their induction ceremony tonight for this year's new members.
Citrus TV reporter Leah Cohen is at the Sheraton Hotel right now. Leah, how is MCI and SU continuing to develop the next generation of leaders on campus?
Thanks, guys. We're in the Sheraton Hotel right now. Thanks, guys. And you can see behind us that Students of Color Initiative is at their ceremony. They're having dinner right now, and I'm here with senior intern Ibrahim, and we're going to talk a little bit about what he has to do in his position here. I wanted to ask you, so you're a senior right now. What is your role here with fellow students? Do you run organizations? Do you plan events?
So for me, my name is Ibrahim Ayende. I'm a senior majoring in biology on the pre-physical therapy track, and basically I'm the MCI intern. So I don't want to call it like Mr. Do-It-All, but at the same time, it's a matter of planning what it is that this group is doing. So being that MCI is a student-led group, every single one of our events for the most part are just created by students. So last year, for example, we had a self-branding event. This year we're having a lot of like masculinity topics, anything and everything. So being an MCI, being the intern for MCI, if I may say, is a position that definitely requires a lot of dedication, and it's definitely something that I love to do. So regardless if it's like me making flyers for like our annual 3v3 tournaments that we have in the fall semesters, or just leading group meetings every single Tuesday in the ICC in Sean, whatnot, it's really fun, and I love doing it. So, yeah.
I know you said before that next week there's going to be a financial literacy discussion. April's coming up, taxes, but that's wonderful. So thank you so much for joining us, guys. Back to you.
Coming up after the break, Governor Kathy Hochul approved nearly $6 million in funding state cybersecurity. Find out how that program can impact local businesses.
And the United States announced more.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You're watching Citrus TV News live at 6 with Benjamin Schiller, Katie Fongvongsa, and Moira Vaughan. Now, your campus news leader continues.
Hey, welcome back into News Live at 6. Governor Hochul has announced that nearly $6 million in federal funding to help local organizations combat cybersecurity risks. The grant will provide funding for cybersecurity tools, research, scholarships, and general training.
Now, the state is planning to ramp up their cybersecurity efforts. Businesses across the state will be able to receive software, hardware, and other services as part of the new funding package.
And now let's bring it back to Central New York. The Department of Environmental Conservation is getting praise for rescuing a hiker. 75-year-old Don Judge of East Syracuse and his wife were rescued after Judge slipped and fell on ice near the summit of Mount Joe in the Adirondacks. While waiting for the rangers to arrive, other hikers who were on the mountain got Judge a blanket to keep him warm and a pad to sit on. Judge says he only dislocated his shoulder.
And the teenager who shot at 3 Syracuse police officers in January of 2023 accepted a plea deal today. 19-year-old Tosh Smith pled guilty to attempted murder in the second degree. 18 at the time of the incident, Smith was apprehended on Tully Street and found in possession of a .45 caliber gun. He had previously not pled guilty to 3 charges of attempted murder in the first degree in April 2023. His trial was set to begin on Monday, and he's facing 40 years to life if convicted, but will now serve 20 years in prison as per the plea deal.
And now to some international stories. As the 2-year anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine approaches, tensions surrounding the conflict have continued. Yesterday, SU hosted a talk on the war and where the conflict goes from here.
CitrusTV reporter Jackson Breslin was at the event and learned how Ukrainians are staying strong despite all the chaos.
For many, the conflict in Ukraine has taken a backseat to more recent international issues. But as we approach the 2-year anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Executive Director of the George W. Bush Institute, David Kramer, talked to SU students to share his thoughts on the current situation and delay of funds to Ukraine.
I find the delay on this infuriating, frustrating, and for Ukrainians, it's incredibly demoralizing.
Saturday marks 2 years since Russia invaded Ukraine. In the time since that initial invasion, which was the largest attack on a European country since World War II, an estimated 500,000 people have died and millions more have been displaced. However, this was not the first time that Russia has invaded Ukraine.
It goes back not just since February 24th of 2022, but February of 2014 when Russia first invaded Ukraine.
Kramer discussed the invasion's unpredicted length and the resilience of the Ukrainian people.
The CIA and the U.S. intelligence community rightly predicted that Russian forces were going to invade Ukraine, but they got it terribly wrong when they said Ukraine would fall.
A common skepticism of aid going to Ukraine is where exactly it ends up, but Kramer explained that it isn't as vague as it seems.
First of all, it's the most monitored assistance we have in history. Most of this money goes to help produce and manufacture the weapon systems that we need. They create jobs here in the United States.
As the audience asked questions, the message became clear. Prayers for peace are needed now more than ever. Reporting in Syracuse, Jackson Breslin, CitrusTV News.
And sticking with the lasting effects from the war in Ukraine, the Russian Olympic Committee has lost yet another appeal against its Olympic suspension by the International Olympic Committee. At previous Olympics, the Russian flag was banned from competition due to the large-scale doping scandal in 2014.
Russians were forced to participate under the Russian Olympic Committee's flag, but now they have officially lost all chances of competing as neutral athletes. The IOC is citing the ongoing war with Ukraine as to why the country is barred from taking part in the Paris Olympics that is just 5 months from now. And President Biden announced more than 500 sanctions on Russia over the war with Ukraine and the death of opposition leader Alexei Navalny. Biden said the sanctions would target those involved with Navalny's imprisonment, Russia's financial sector, and their defense industrial base as well.
The U.S. is also imposing export restrictions on almost 100 entities that support Russia's military efforts and are taking action to reduce Russia's energy reserves. Biden emphasized that Congress must pass the Senate foreign aid package because Ukraine is running out of ammunition.
And coming up, will this cold weather stay with us? Stay with us.
It's a beautiful day out here. Sunny today with light breezes, giving way to clouds in the afternoon. We could see some light precipitation to moderate precipitation later on, followed by powerful storm-like conditions. 90 miles per hour winds are expected. Authorities are asking everyone, stay indoors. Come on, that's it. Let's go.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. Gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Oh, no. Okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
From the CitrusTV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
Welcome back to News Live at 6. Well, today, all the students were outside. It was absolutely gorgeous in the 50s, the sunshine. It was so happy, but we're going to be losing that tomorrow. It's going to be 22 degrees out. The sun still might be out a little bit. We are back in those February temperatures. But the good news is on Sunday, Monday, we'll be back up into the 45 and 46 degree range. So those temperatures that we saw earlier today will be coming back if you're trying to get outside. Looking ahead to Tuesday and Wednesday, we'll still be seeing 58 and 54. So we'll even come up and get an even sunnier from there, but we will be seeing some rain. So expect some humidity. And today I'm going to be doing a photo of the day of this absolutely gorgeous weather. This is from Berry Park on my run today, and look at that sky. That's what I want everyone to look at. If you know Anna from Frozen, just said the sky's awake, so I'm awake. I was definitely awake today when that gorgeous sun was out. So that's all from me. Ryan?
Yeah, Moira, it was sunny outside today for Syracuse women's basketball. See what I mean after the break.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Welcome back to Review Crew.
On today's episode, we're going to review Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Here's a trailer for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Let's talk about this movie now.
Let's talk about it. I liked it a lot.
I love Kick-Ass.
There are parts of me that want to just go through frame by frame and see every single multiverse when they'd have those flashes.
Yeah, the big flashes. Me too.
Talented, funny, handsome. Tim,
come on.
You got it all, buddy. You're like my own person.
Look who's talking. Come on.
See you next week.
And now, your CitrusTV Sports Report.
Syracuse women's basketball has its highest projected seed of the NCAA tournament of the entire season. Welcome into sports. I'm Ryan Bridges. The Orange came into last night as a 4 seed in ESPN's Charlie Cream's latest bracketology. In order to keep that projected ranking, the Orange needed to pick up a win against the Duke Blue Devils last night. So let's go down to the JMA Wireless Dome and see what the Orange had to do against the 16-9 Blue Devils inside the JMA Wireless Dome. Georgia Woolley, how about her play lately? 52% from the field in the last 3 games for Woolley, and she hits another 3 right there to get SU a 1-point lead early on. But this is when Duke started to kind of pull away. Blue Devils up 21-3. That corner 3 makes the deficit grow a lot larger for Syracuse, and now they're down 14 at the end of the 3rd quarter. Look at Alshon Jackson, gets by Alyssa Latham, hits the layup. Into the 4th quarter we go. The Orange are down 17 at this point. Jackson once again knocks down the 3, and the Orange fall to 13-2 inside the Dome this season, and they need to win a lot more games in order to keep up their ranking.
Bam day, bam day.
And as you just saw Kyle Cuff just say there, it's Jim Boeheim Day tomorrow in the Dome. But Syracuse players this afternoon, instead of going inside and practicing all day, they decided to visit some people camping out for the game tomorrow against Notre Dame in the Dome tomorrow, celebrating Jim Boeheim, officially inducted into Syracuse University. The city of Syracuse has declared this day tomorrow Jim Boeheim Day. That will be tomorrow. Obviously, J.J. Starling also transferred from Notre Dame to Syracuse. That's another storyline to pay attention to on the season for the Orange. And it's going to be a great game in the Dome tomorrow, but it's not the only team that's playing at noon tomorrow against Syracuse. Notre Dame and Syracuse going at it in women's lacrosse over in South Bend. The Orange have fallen to top-ranked Northwestern and also Maryland in overtime in their last game, and now they got to play the number 2 team in the nation in the Fighting Irish. So we'll see exactly what's in store for tomorrow. But in other news, Syracuse women's basketball also playing Notre Dame coming up this season. And turning the page to another game, Syracuse women's basketball, of course, played in the Dome last night, but there was a new team that took the court the other day, and that was the Daily Orange. They played against WAER Sports last night in the Dome. It's where student broadcasters from WAER and student print journalism for the Daily Orange go at it inside the Dome. And WAER ended up pulling out the win for the first time in almost 3 years yesterday. It was not great for for WAER, and they were sadly unsuccessful in their victory, but it's a fun tradition every year, guys.
Ryan Bridges now joins us at the desk. I didn't get to attend the game last night, but I got to ask in your own opinion. Who was the MVP on the court last night?
Oh, man. I mean, there's a lot of people to pick through. Tyler Schiff is really good for the Daily Orange. WAER has Danny Tao and some other people, but I would say Tyler Schiff. You know, the winning team, they have to have the MVP.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thank you, Ryan. And when we come back, we'll have your wake-up weather.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Okay, I want everyone to close their eyes with me and pretend that we don't see that 16 degrees on the screen, because yes, you're seeing it right. It will be 16 degrees, partly sunny, but that February weather is still coming back to Syracuse. Guys, how do we feel about that?
You know, I don't want to be walking to the Dome tomorrow and having to deal with wearing 3 coats because I'm a Florida boy. I don't have to deal with that. But hey, a new report from bonusfinder.com shows that 10 of the top party cities in the U.S. are not far from the state of New York.
Yeah, Ben, that's right. And with spring break coming up, the list has some great suggestions for where to go. Down in New Jersey, Atlantic City took the top spot with Hoboken, Jersey City, and Newark coming in 3rd, 13th, and 15th, respectively.
And staying south of the state, Harrisburg took 18th place. Some other big name cities in the top 5 were Miami, Key West, and Las Vegas. And spring break is up ahead, guys. We're about 2 weeks away from spring break. Hopefully, we're all going to warm locations. Let's go around the table. What's everyone doing for spring break?
I'm going to San Diego. I live in San Diego, so I'm kind of used to it.
enjoy the sun and the weather and everything, you know. Yeah. I'm going to Nashville myself. I'm really excited. A little senior year in Nashville trip. I'm really excited for that opportunity just to have fun for spring break, my last spring break.
And like Ryan, I'm going back home, so it probably is not going to be too warm there. Hopefully it stays above 30 degrees. What about you, Moira?
I'll be going to Fort Lauderdale, so I will be avoiding the East Coast. No way!
Yeah,
oh my gosh,
30 minutes north, so you'll enjoy it and all the warm weather.
Excited.
And you know, hopefully that warm weather comes to Syracuse in the near future, guys.
Praying.
And that's Citrus TV News live at 6 for this Friday.
Don't forget, you can follow us on X and Instagram at Citrus TV News. Now for the entire Citrus TV News team, I'm Benjamin Schiller.
And I'm Katie Fongvongsa. Have a great night, Syracuse.